Everybody, it's Mike, and I'm back. And today, or tonight, whatever, I'm going to talk about the murder of Sulochana Das, who was a Hare Krishna devotee, and he was murdered by the cult um, because he was exposing what they were doing, what he believed they were doing, and what they were doing. And there's been books written about it and movies made about it. And I'm going to be reading from one of the books, um, just detailing um, when he was, the actual day that he was murdered. Um, and then I'll be commenting on that. So I just want to give a trigger warning because this is graphic stuff, it's disgusting stuff, and but it really shows you who these people are. And anyway, I'm going to get into that. So let me get into the intro, the new fascinating, uh, the great new intro. Hello.
Hello.
Wow, that's amazing. That's really amazing. So today I'm going to be reading from Henry Dostoevsky's book, Killing for Krishna, about the murder of Sulochana, and I'll be commenting on it as I'm reading it, and I'll see how far I get before I get freaked out and pissed off and angry and just cut it off, because that's what I usually do. Um, I can only take so much, and the more disgusting and more the worse it is, the less I can take of it. I'm just, I can only take so much. Shit. So I'm gonna be reading from this book, and I want to I want to show you that I'm not making this up. That I'm actually reading this from a web page. And so let's see. So this is the page I'm reading from, and it's iscontruth.com. And the murder of this this poor man is really sad, and I want to show you the picture that he provided in his book. But there's also the picture of him. It's a disturbing picture. So I want to give you another trigger warning. I don't want you to say you weren't warned. If you want to look away or fast forward, and now's the time. I'm going to go ahead and show you the picture of this young man who was murdered, and also the picture, I guess, the coroner, LAPD. And so it says here, I guess, I don't know if you can really see it, but it says guns, gold, guns, and God, Swami Bhaktipad, and the West Virginia Hare Krishnas, 2016 by Henry Dostoevsky, Rishikesh Das, Um, and it says one chapter from Henry Doktorsky's forthcoming book. Well, the book is already out, so you can read it. And this is chapter 63, The Murder of Sulochana. Um, so I apologize for that, but I just wanted to show that I'm not, this is serious business. Okay, so let me see where I can get this to. Let's see what I can do here. So it says, chapter 63, The Murder of Sulochana. At approximately 1 a.m. Pacific time, 4 a.m. Eastern time, during the early morning of Lord Nrsingadev's appearance day. So let me just stop right there because this will become, there's meaning there. This is the Lord Nrsingadev. So Lord Nrsingadev is this character here. Let me see if I can bring this up. This is Lord Nrsingadev. This is a gruesome painting that hangs in the LA temple. This is Krishna in the form of Lord Nrsingadev, who kills the demons. So Lord Nrsingadev comes and he kills this person that you see he's killing there is the head demon, and his son is the saintly person who's giving him the flowers down there. So that's the son, and the father is the one being killed, and Krishna is this lion-headed, multi-armed man who's killing this demon. So Lord Nrsingadev kills demons. So I just wanted to explain that. This is so because it has meaning. There is meaning behind that this was done on the appearance day of Lord Nrsingadev. So continues. Thursday, May 22nd, 1986, a decisive event occurred which inevitably and irrevocably changed the destiny of New Vrindavan, which was is the Hare Krishna community in the hills of West Virginia, created by this madman Kirtanananda, who was a disciple of the madman Srila Prabhupada, Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. While the 33-year-old Sulochana sat rolling a joint in his rusted 1976 Dodge van, maroon in color, parked at the intersection of Flint Avenue and Cardiff Street, a half mile from the Los Angeles Temple, his brains were blown apart by 2 bullets from a handgun fired through the driver's side window at close range. So I lived about a mile from the LA Temple at this time when this happened. I wasn't a Hare Krishna at the time, but I lived about a mile from the temple and about half a mile from where this happened. I went right behind the high school that I went to, Hamilton High School. I know right where it happened. I lived right there. I mean, this is right, literally my backyard, but literally my front yard. Continuing, the coroner reported, quote, gunshot wound number 1 was to the left lower jaw region of the cheek, and it caused injury to the jaw, bone, caused injury to a vessel of the carotid artery and went through the cervical spine, that is, the spine in the neck region, and a bullet was recovered. There was injury to the spinal cord as a result of this gunshot wound. The second gunshot wound also entered the face, and the entrance was in the region just in front of the left ear. This gunshot wound went through the cheek region of the left side to a bone called the maxilla, went into the oral cavity, and came out through the right maxilla, the cheekbone, and exited, that is, came out in the right cheek region. The bullet was recovered from the musculature behind the lateral to the neck spine on the right side. Surrounding the entrance of gunshot wound number 1, there were multiple abrasions or scrapes in which there were some glass pieces. Now, this part, it says, news of the murder spreads quickly. New Vrindavan, all abuzz. So I believe that this Henry Doktorsky, this Rishikesh Das, was there in New Vrindavan when this happened. He was part of the community there. I don't know for sure, but maybe we'll find out. But I believe he was. So anyway, it says, continuing on. The news of Sulochana's murder traveled fast. Lightning fast. The murderer, Bhaktipad Kirtanananda's disciple, Tirtha Das, Thomas Drescher, made a speedy getaway from the Los Angeles Temple vicinity to the airport, where he dumped his rental car and made a quick telephone call to New Vrindavan authorities while waiting for the next flight back east. He said, I went to the airport, dropped off the vehicle, took the first flight out of Los Angeles, I guess about an hour and 45 minutes later. It just happened to be going to Dallas. The same morning at approximately 7:30 a.m. Pacific time, the Ugly Duckling Rent-A-Car agency received a telephone call from Tirtha. I'm going to see if I can find a little video. I guess I can't. Let me see.
I correspond with Tirtha in prison. We've sent 200 letters to each other. He may not like some of the things I say, and I certainly don't believe everything he says, but I do have some sympathy. All right, you know, he should be in prison. All right, that's the best place for him. I agree with that. But I know that if I was wearing that shoe, I could have been in a similar position as one of the murder conspirators. But if you ask who should have gone to prison, you know, I can't say that. There were about 12 people that are directly involved in the conspiracy, and there were other supporting players who assisted, but they may not have known about the murder plans. You know, they were supporting players.
Of the dozen or so devotees that were involved in this plot, how many have repented? How many feel bad that they were a part of this?
Well, I do know that Mahamantra in California, who assisted Krishna Gita in hunting for Tirtha, he has expressed deep regret for his involvement in this. And so has Krishna Gita, who is Tirtha's sidekick in Los Angeles. He led Tirtha right to Sulochana's hiding places and things like that. He was definitely involved. He has expressed regret. John Mastamy also has, in so many words, expressed his regret. And even Tirtha in prison, he sent me a letter one time, and when he told me that he regretted his actions that landed him in prison, and that none of those two devotees that he killed, Sulochana or Chakradori, deserved to die as they did.
Is he blaming others for that?
Tirtha has accepted the responsibility. He does blame others for preying upon his insecurities, in encouraging and pushing him to go ahead with this murder.
Okay, so that's what he has to say about Tirtha today. So let me get back to what he has written in his book here. So Tirtha made a speedy getaway from the Los Angeles Temple vicinity to the airport, where he dumped his rental car and made a quick telephone call to New Vrindavan authorities while waiting for the next flight back east. He said, "I went to the airport, dropped off the vehicle, took the first flight out of Los Angeles. I guess about an hour and 45 minutes later. It just happened to be going to Dallas." That same morning at approximately 7:30 a.m. Pacific time, the Ugly Duckling Rent-A-Car agency received a telephone call from Tirtha informing them that he had left the vehicle parked at one of the parking lots at Los Angeles International Airport, and that he had to leave unexpectedly and fly out. An employee from the agency picked up the rent-a-car at 9 o'clock. During the japa period preceding the Mangalartik morning program at New Vrindavan, hushed whispers of the news of Sulochana's death brought great excitement to the devotees in attendance. The news couldn't have taken longer than 15 or 20 minutes to reach them after the murder was committed. The Sankirtan leader, Dharmatma Das, remembered. It was the morning of Lord Nrsingadev's appearance day. Nrsinga is a form of Krishna that protects the devotees and is half man, half lion. When I came in the temple room in the morning, everyone was very excited and jubilant, and the whole temple was buzzing. Everyone was talking in little circles. It seemed to be a very upbeat mood in the morning. I asked someone, "What is going on?" because it was like a festive atmosphere. The devotee told me, "Haven't you heard? Sulochana was killed in California last night." During the question and answer period after class a couple days later, a devotee asked Bhaktipad, this Kirtananda character, "How should we understand it when a demon is killed?" Bhaktipad responded that a devotee isn't disturbed when a snake is killed. So these people were happy that this guy was shot in LA. They thought of him as a demon. They thought he deserved to die. And that this guy was right to go shoot him in the head in his van. It wasn't just the guy that killed him. Sure, he was a murderer and he pulled the trigger. But all these people there in the whole community was like, yay! They didn't care. They were happy. What kind of sick fucking people are these? Fucking cult. You tell me this isn't a cult? They're all excited and happy. But this guy's just got shot in the head. Spiritual leader of the place is like, He was a demon. He was a snake. We should. We're not disturbed. They didn't give a fuck. They were happy. They did care. They were happy. They weren't neutral. They weren't neutral. Like, oh, we're not gonna. No, they were happy. It goes on. Some Brijavasis were surprised and shocked to hear the news of Sulochana's murder. Jamuna Dasi, Sulochana's divorced wife, said, I was extremely shocked. I hadn't in the slightest expected that could ever happen. Well, who does? Unless you're in a cult. I'm going to go on. Other devotees were pleased to hear the news. Ramachandra Das, a new Vrindavan Sankirtan picker, con artist, asked the most senior new Vrindavan sannyasi, Radhanath Swami, another scammer, do you know who killed Sulochana? Radhanath replied, I don't know, but whoever it was, he was doing devotional service to Krishna. See how these fuckers think? Murder can be devotional service. Shooting someone in the head. They don't care. They don't give a shit. So they told me, we'll come down and kick your ass right in front of the temple. That's what they told me. When I said, I'm not going along with this. I'm not going along with you guys with this pedophile shit. They said I had to surrender and submit to them, otherwise they'd come down and we'd have it out in front of the temple. And then I asked, you showed an honor, what's up with that? And then he didn't say anything, because he was right with them. I thought he was the spiritual leader. I thought this was like, I don't know what I thought it was, but I didn't think it was this. They don't have a problem killing people. They don't have a problem killing people, beating people up, chasing them off the property. That's why I said, you mess with these cults, you don't know what they're going to do. You don't know what crazy person's going to... I don't know what crazy person's going to do. I don't. They're so crazy, you don't know what they're going to do. You're in there with these crazy people. And you're dependent on them. You live in the ashram. They pay your bill. They feed you. You live there. Prabhu fraud is sick. The murder of Sulochana Das. There were a few reports and books on what happened. Okay, yeah. So thanks guys for coming into my thing. There's lots of books. There's like half a dozen books, and there's like videos and movies and interviews. There's all that. So if you want to go watch that, you can, and I encourage you to do it if you haven't. There's a brand new movie that just came out on Netflix, I think. There's Netflix and Amazon. I mean, there's a lot, and I encourage all of that. I haven't stayed up on that. I mean, like I learned about this stuff from devotees that knew him before these books were written. I knew all about all this stuff way before. I'm just curious to see what this guy has to say about it. But, and I thought I'd share it and give my own from what I know, because I know people. I know these characters that are in this story. I know these people. Not that I palled around with them. I don't know. Not these guys, but I know who they are, and I seen them, and they came around all the time. Tapapunya Swami. This guy's a Swami. Radhanath Swami. Tapapunya Swami. At the time, the Cleveland Temple president recalled, when the news came that Sulochana had been killed, it came as a shock and a relief to everyone back in New Vrindavan. Dharmatma continued his recollection of the day of the murder. Later on, quote, later on, after the morning functions, I had a discussion with the New Vrindavan Temple president, Kuladri. He was quite disturbed. He mentioned how it shouldn't have been done like that, and how Radhanath, Hayagriva, and Tapapunya were pushing like crazy for this to happen, and how he had told them not to do it. Sounds like a conspiracy. John Mastami Das, a Bhaktipad disciple who had assisted Tirtha in January and February searching for Sulochana in California and planned to return to California the next day, but since Sulochana was already whacked, his trip was canceled. Jaya Sri Krishna, who had been contracted to do John Mastami's service in Philadelphia, went back to Washington, D.C. This is a whole interstate conspiracy to kill this guy. So there's people in New Vrindavan, Philadelphia, Washington, D.C., and Los Angeles, all in on getting this guy. The Los Angeles police were notified of this murder about 9:45 a.m. Pacific time when a pedestrian walked past the van, noticed the broken glass, glanced inside, and called police. So he's laying it dead in his van. Excuse me. For like 8 hours. These freaks in New Vrindavan, this is how disgusting these people are. These freaks in New Vrindavan were celebrating that Sulochana was dead before the police even found his body. They already knew he was dead, and they're celebrating. And he's still lying in the van. It's like a mafia hit, right? It was a mafia hit. So they set these guys out. They had a team working to track him down. They flew him out to L.A. Killed him. The guy flew his ass out of there. The other guy that was supposed to go out there and help him was like, well, I guess I don't need to go now. The guy's dead. Freaks in New Vrindavan. Yeah, I can't believe they celebrated his death. Yeah, they were all happy because of their fucking guru. Because they knew this guy was talking shit about their guru and they didn't like it. So they wanted to kill him. And they did. Because he was talking shit about their guru. Because he found out that their guru that the guru was molesting little kids. So they killed him. And they all were all happy. Now they were all happy again. He's still dead. He's still in his van. Coroner hasn't even got him yet. Haven't even notified his next of kin. Haven't notified his family, his mom, dad. Haven't notified his... But of all these friggin' freaks in New Vrindavan, they already know. They're already having a party. Like fucking mafia. As soon as he did it, he went, he called it, hey, done. I'm on a plane, I'm heading back. They're like, woo, yay! That's a spiritual movement. That's a spiritual community in West Virginia. These guys are spiritual leaders. This Radhanath Swami and Tapa Punya and Dharm Atma and John and High Agreement and Radhanath Swami travels around the world like he's friggin' the Dalai Lama now, writing books about how he's been a holy man since he was like 4. He's celebrating that this guy was murdered in a van on the streets of LA. Celebrating. Celebrating. All these guys. The whole community was. And not just New Vrindavan. They were celebrating other temples too. Radhanath Swami, I found him fishy. They are all slimy. Tamal Krishna, I had dinner with him, with the video crew that I was working with. I got to have dinner with him. It was Tamal, Nishringananda, Tamal's assistant, and me. And I thought Tamal was a friggin' jerk. The biggest asshole I've ever met. One of the biggest assholes I've ever had dinner with. Sitting there bitching and whining about my disciples this and this and that. And it was like, I was like, who the fuck are you? Hridayananda. Same thing. Got a house in Beverly Hills. Went there, I thought I was going on Sankirtan. I ended up in this fucker's house. We're all sitting there listening to him lecture. Fucking shut the fuck up. You and your women, and you're gonna sit there and tell me I gotta be celibate while you're fucking Swami getting massages, girls, bikinis. All these guys. Even my friend Yashodanandan. Friggin'. When I look back now, like, what a fucking sleazeball. All of them. And they say, you are the company you keep. So I'm hanging around with these guys. I guess I was one too. I hate to say it, I got to admit it. Birds of a feather. I guess I was asleep. I hate to think like that. I didn't hate women. I didn't think that they liked to get raped. I wasn't racist. My daughter is black. I couldn't accept that black people belong in the jungle. I mean, but I didn't have enough sense to leave at that point. And now when I look back, I go, all of these people were fucking slime balls. All of them. Every single one. Friggin' I get so disgusted when I think about this shit. But gotta do it. Gotta warn people. Gotta protect. We all talk about women and children. Gotta protect the children because children can't consent. Children don't know. Children are just there, and that's true. Women are treated like shit in the Hare Krishnas. They're treated like shit. They are mistreated. Domestic violence is almost encouraged. Prabhupada says you can beat 3 things: a drum, a dog, and a woman. It's really it's amazing. It's amazing. But on top of that, men are in danger too. This guy got shot in the head. I got threatened. They told me they were going to kick my ass, beat me up. I don't know if they were really going to do it. It sounded like they wanted to do it. It sounded like it'd be fun for them. I had a friend in high school. Just loved to fight. He was like from a small town back in the Midwest. And I guess that's what they did on Saturday night, Friday night. That was fun. They'd go get drunk, go pick a fight, and go fight and brawl. That's what these guys. They want confrontation. I don't know. Friggin' disgusting, though. I'll tell you, friggin' disgusting. Tirtha in Ohio. Okay, so back from Dallas, Tirtha caught a flight to Cleveland, Ohio, where he undoubtedly met his wife, Suksmarupini Devi Dasi, and his son Tapas, and slept in at their trailer park home in Ravenna, Ohio, about 5 miles east of Radhanaswami's preaching center in Kent, to catch up on his rest. So his wife and his son knew that he just killed this guy, because it's not like he kept it from him. They're all in on it. They're all supportive of taking this guy out. The next day, Friday, May 23rd, Tirtha drove to Columbus, Ohio, and during the afternoon stopped at the Festival of India, sponsored by the Ohio State University. Ohio State University is sponsoring this Festival of India, run by these people that just murdered somebody in a van in LA. They conspired and recruited people, interstate crime, conspiracy to commit murder, and then murder. Flew the guy back, and then he stops off at the festival. I'll just stop off at the Krishna. Hey, Krishna festival's going on. I might as well go to the festival. I know I just murdered somebody. Hey, it's like that. It's like that old commercial, right? When they win the Super Bowl or whatever. It's like, hey, Tirtha, you just murdered Sulochana. What are you gonna do now? Oh, I'm gonna go to the festival. Yay! It's like these guys commit crimes. They go to the festival. The guy raped the little girl, and then he goes to the festival to go sing on the stage. Tirtha murders a guy in a van. I mean, you'll go stop off at the Festival of India. Might as well. Good time. The Columbus Hare Krishna Temple had an exhibit at the festival. Tirtha chatted with the temple president, Karusadas, Tapapunya Swami, and a visiting sannyasi from New Vrindavan, Varsana Maharaj, who were preaching at the festival. So, Tapapunya knew. These guys all knew what was going on. They're having a festival. This is like the friggin' Sopranos. It's like the friggin' Mafia. It's like the Sopranos. It's like the Godfather. It's like, you come to me on the day of my festival. Do you have good news to bring me at my festival of India? Oh yes, Maharaj. Yes, I killed Sulochana in his van. Oh, very good, my son. Bless you. But then we'll get the real reason why he went to the festival. It goes on. The most pressing thought on Tirtha's mind was getting the remainder of the $8,000 he was promised by the New Vrindavan authorities for destroying the demon Sulochana and purchasing air tickets for himself and his family to leave the country. So now it's international crime. He's trying to get out of the country with $8,000. Does this sound like a spiritual movement? Sound like an ancient tradition from India 5,000 years ago? Lord Chaitanya, 500 years ago, Lord Chaitanya chanting Hare Krishna. You realize what you've got, what you people are in? These people, where does a whole community of people get the idea that they can just say that somebody's a demon and then kill them? And then have a festival. Go to the festival. No shame, no remorse, none of them. It's like the Taliban, like ISIS. You're a demon? That's a demon. Go kill him. And they kill him, and then they're like, yay! Bang, 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 bang. Let's celebrate. The demon's dead. Let's find another demon to kill. That's what this is. They kill one, they kill another one. I mean, why kill the first one? You're not gonna kill one and let the rest of them go. Neither spiritual, neither ancient. It's all bogus and a mafia-like cult entity enacting violence, murder, rape, abuse, and feigning ignorance. It's exactly right. It's exactly what I'm saying. And the cult causes this. They take normal people and just put them through a meat grinder, and they come out the other end a friggin' insane, friggin' ready to do anything, including kill people. This whole community, I'm not saying everybody's a murderer, because not everybody's a murderer. But they had at least 3 people that would have pulled the trigger. And one guy did pull the trigger on his own. They had 3 that were willing to do it, but they had a whole community of people that were like, yay! We killed somebody, we killed a demon. That's freaking sick. And a lot of those people, they're still happy that he's dead. They still don't think that they did anything wrong. The Kirtanananda Swami, the guy that had this done, he's buried in India. They have a temple to him, and these freaks go and worship him. These freaks that celebrated are still celebrating to this day. And these people that knew and planned it and helped and covered it up, you don't have a whole operation of people flying around the country, going around tracking this guy down for months, and then murdering him, and then flying back, and then he wants his money, wants to get paid, he wants to move his family out of the country so he doesn't go to jail. That's a whole operation. That is a whole friggin' operation. That wasn't one guy getting mad at Sulochana and going, oh, I'm gonna go kill this guy. Like Lee Harvey Oswald or Sirhan or There was a whole conspiracy to kill this guy. Plane tickets, payments, a network, a safe house, meetings, discussions, the whole community celebrating. How does a whole community celebrate? You can't tell me that nobody was like, we're just killing people now? Nobody said that? I mean, if I was in a group, if I was in my group of people doing my Hare Krishna thing and we're working on a thing, and all of a sudden one of the people that I goes and kills another guy, shoots him. I would have been like, what the fuck is going on? We're just shooting people now? Nobody did that in New Vrindavan, in this whole spiritual community. The phone rings. Hey, it's done. Sulochana's been killed. Oh, okay. Hey, Sulochana's been killed. The word gets around, and everybody's all happy. Nobody said, what the fuck's going on? We're just killing people now? No, nobody said that. Nobody said that. Because killing's okay. If you're doing it for Krishna. Someone's making an offense, if somebody's making an offense to the guru, somebody's talking shit, somebody's doing something, then hey. That's why nobody said no. That's why they were happy. No, nobody, nobody said, "Hey, I'm done with this. We're killing people now." No, it's a cult. I mean, if you were anywhere in a group of not that many, not like there were thousands of people in New Vrindavan, I mean, a couple hundred, if that. And all of a sudden, people are getting shot, killed over what? It's not like it's not like it was a shootout or it was a, he got caught with his wife, or he was robbing a bank, or was cheating on his caught. What? A lot of things people shoot each other for. You're shooting. You get to me, a grown man gonna shoot another grown man because that grown man said that man said something that he didn't like, and now we're just shooting people? Because he said he's not a guru? He's not a real guru? Or he told the truth. He said he's diddling little boys. And everybody knew it. He's just the one that was coming out and saying it. And this Tirtha freak, and I understand maybe now he says he's sorry. I don't know if he says he's sorry or not. But maybe he I heard he doesn't. I heard he's never, but maybe since then, if he has, great. Just kill somebody? Because he... I mean, it's just shocking to me that nobody in that whole in New Vrindavan, when everyone's celebrating, that people are not going, "Hey, wait a minute. We're just killing people now and celebrating." I mean, they're saying they're demons, but I mean, it's like saying my mom is a demon, my dad. We just go kill them too? Yeah. The story is scary. The story is scary. The story is scary. I'll tell you right now, some nut could come looking for me. I don't think it's going to happen. But it could. These people are nuts. Well, what am I going to do? Live in fear of these freaks? That's what they want. They want us to be scared. They want me to be scared. That's why they shot the dude. So people like me so people won't speak out. I've reached out to my brother. I haven't heard from him in over a week. Please keep us in your thoughts. With stories like this, we always fear the worst. I don't think your brother is in any like danger like that. Um, but it is scary. I mean, they threatened me. They didn't like. They didn't when I was in it. When I was in it, they were threatening me because I was like, I'm not going along with this pedophile shit. I'm not going along with it. And they're like, no, you have to go along with it. Otherwise, if you don't, maybe we can come down there and we can discuss this face to face, man to man. And then I was like, I was done. I went to the police. I said, I'm getting threatening emails, threatening everything. I need to file a report because if something happens to me, there has to be a record of this. And then I emailed back and I said, I'm done with this group. And I filed a police report, so don't contact me. Don't anything. And I left. I moved out. I moved out of my apartment. I had to move out. I was in the community. I left. Now, I happen to have a position in an organization. We were like I had a position and I was. Most people don't have all that. They're just coming, they just go, they live in the. You can walk out and just go. That's what I'm saying to you people out there in the ashram. You can just leave. You can just go. But I know you're trapped. Mentally, you're trapped. It's all up here. Mentally, they've got you brainwashed thinking that it's Maya out there, and it's like, if I go out there, I'm back in the material world, and it's just like meat eating and sex and gambling and no, it's just the real world out here. It's just the real world out here. Some of it's good, some of it's bad. Just like in there. Some of it's good, some of it's bad. You get to eat good food and you get to like whatever, but then there's all the bullshit. So that's like real life. The ups and downs. But you can leave. You can walk out. You don't have to get shot in a van because you think your guru is bogus. When you find out your guru is bogus. When you find out that your guru is not what you thought he was. When you find out that your guru is not this pure devotee, spiritual master who is absorbing karma and sins, and he's in a direct line back to Krishna. And when you find out that there is no line back to Krishna, because there is no Krishna, and there is no line, and all those names in that list of names, they're all made up, fake names. Those people don't exist. There's no space Narada floating around. There's no four-headed guy growing out of a flower on Vishnu, four-armed guy laying on a snake. It's not. They got you mentally. And when you find out, when you snap and go, what the fuck? Then you're gonna be pissed. I was pissed. 20 years? 20 years in that shit? believing that shit, thinking I was on this spiritual path. Meanwhile, I'm watching all these. It's nothing but Emperor's New Clothes. You can see these people are full of shit. But you're like, I'm invested. Not me. I'm serious. I'm chanting. I got the tilak. I got the neck beads. I got everything. I got the dhoti. I got everything. I'm going to India. I'm doing everything. But there's nothing there. Because there's nothing there. And when you realize that, and you go, God damn it, I spent 5 years in here, and now I find out that Prabhupada's a fake, the Parampara's a fake, all this stuff's a bunch of stories. You're going to be pissed. You're going to be pissed they took 5 years from you, 10 years from you. And you find out Prabhupada was 22 years old and he had sex with an 11-year-old girl. Find out that the highest stage of realization is that you're an 11-year-old gopi girl and you go and you get to have sex with Krishna. That's your highest stage of Madhurya Ras. Gopi Bhava. The stage of Gopi Bhava. The stage of having sex with Krishna. Rasa Leela. I just saved you. I just saved you years, years of wondering what's the highest. What is it? Well, when you get to that stage, the highest stage is knowing what gopi you are, who you are as a gopi. Gopis are 11 years old. And they have sex with Krishna, has sex with them. A big orgy. That's what it's all about. That's what Lord Chaitanya's movement is all about. It's all about mood of Radharani. The mood of getting effed by Krishna. Love of God. Rasa Leela. We're gonna go find out what your gopi name is, and then you'll just be in ecstasy. Your eyes will roll back in your head. Yes, his brother joined rather quickly and went to India and then came back, and he's totally under the spell and under a guru, and it's really sad. It is really sad. That's the reason why I do these videos, because if I can prevent someone from, and I have, because someone told me, hey, I watched your video and like I'm done with them. So that was that one person that made me feel good. But if I can keep people from joining, it's great. And if any of you in there are watching and you can get out, get the fuck out. Leave the cults and be human. Live your life and strive for personal growth and well-being without all that bullshit. Ritual, dhoti, yeah, you know. And look, if it's a hobby. If you want to dress up and put mala, kunti mala on, I mean, I wouldn't, because it identifies you as a cult member. But if you want to put the beads on and put tilak on or put Shiva thing on or kumkum on or whatever, and you can do all that. You can chant mantras, you can do all that stuff. You don't have to be associated in a cult. You don't have to be associated with ISKCON and Prabhupada and these gurus and these pedophile gurus and these this mafia, these people that murder people and celebrate. They're celebrating this guy's death. Conspiring to kill this guy and then celebrating it. This is a sick fucking cult. Where do they get the idea that you do that? Prabhupada. It's a demon. Okay, so let's get back to this real quick here. From Columbus, Tirtha telephoned his friend Randall Gorby, a longtime friend of New Vrindavan who lived in Bethany, West Virginia, and informed him, "I'm in the Big C and took care of everything in California and would like to talk to you." So obviously this guy knew about it too, because he's talking in code and the guy knows what he's saying. I took care of everything in California. It's like this was like it was a pretty far-reaching conspiracy. The two friends met at the Dutch Pantry outside of Youngstown, Ohio, not far from Kent State University. Gorby said, "We started to talking, and Tirtha said he had flown to California, rented a motel and a car, and that he had made contact with Sulochana within a matter of 3 hours after arriving. That he had a person with him from the temple in Los Angeles, a Rameshwar disciple named Krishna Kant Das." Jeffrey Breyer, and that he had trailed Sulochana. He said that he and the other fellow were in the automobile sitting behind Sulochana's van, and that the other fellow had forgotten his weapon or went away to get his weapon, and that Tirtha decided, "I might as well get this over with now," and he climbed out of the car, walking up alongside of the van, and shot Sulochana twice in the head. He said, "Randy, do you remember a scene in the Deer Hunter movie where they were playing Russian roulette and the brains came out identically that way in slow motion?" This is friggin' disgusting. How can you claim to be a spiritual person on a spiritual path, putting tilak on your head and beads, and you're chanting rounds of Hare Krishna, and you're supposed to be the spiritual Vaishnav, and then you don't have a problem just walking up to somebody and just shooting them in the head and blowing their brains out, and then describing it to somebody as if it was a movie that you saw. How psychopathic can you be? What kind of people are these? Not what kind of people are these? What kind of people do they become from reading this shit and associating with these people and Prabhupada putting this crap in their head that you can just go shoot somebody because somebody calls them a demon? It's Taliban shit. I'm telling you, it's like the Taliban. I can just call you a demon, and then somebody's gonna go and kill you. Like, I don't even have to tell them. All I have to do is just say, "That's a demon," and then bam. It's a sick fucking cult. Remember that scene in The Deer Hunter? Yeah, it was just like that, remember? What a... Fucking disgusting. Fucking disgusting. And they want to talk... And this Radhanath Swami running around the world like he's friggin' the Dalai Lama. Dancing like he's Lord Chaitanya. Oh, I'm in the mood of Radharani too. I'm like Radharani. Oh, look at me dance. I'm a liberated spiritual soul. All of these guys. It's all the same. They're not all murderers, but they're all fake and phony. And there's enough murderers, rapists, women abusers, pedophiles. I mean, if you can call somebody a demon and then murder them and not feel any remorse or shame or anything, then you can pretty much do anything and not feel bad about it. They're all whack jobs. Yeah, they're all whack jobs, and they don't even realize how whacked out they are. Because they're all reading the same books. They're all believing the same crap. They all believe the same shit that this Tirtha did. They all believe the same shit that Tirtha believes. He's a demon. He can be eliminated. They don't feel bad when a snake is killed. A saint rejoices when a snake or a spider is killed. These are envious entities. Can be killed. Well, who decides who the envious entity is? I'll give you one guess. Spiritual master does. So if Bhaktipad says that Sulochana's a demon, or Brahmeshwar says that this guy's a demon, or so-and-so says that this guy's a demon, well, then there's a demon. Okay, so we're going to finish this up here. Let's see what it says. Bhaktipad was notified of the murder. When Sulochana was murdered on Lord Nrsingadev's appearance day, Bhaktipad was returning from a European tour on an LTU German charter airlines flight from Frankfurt to New York City with Devamrita Swami and two teenage boys, Jayananda and Chaitanya Mangala. Bhaktipad heard the news of Sulochana's murder after passing through customs at Kennedy International Airport. Madhava Ghosh picked up Bhaktipad and his entourage at the international terminal and transported them to the domestic terminal for their flight to Pittsburgh. Madhava Ghosh told Bhaktipad that Bryant had been killed. That evening, Kaladri greeted Bhaktipad and his entourage at Pittsburgh International Airport. Devamrita Swami recalled that Kaladri showed Bhaktipad a newspaper article about Bryant's death, and that Kaladri acted pleased. Tirtha to go to India. Tirtha was instructed to fly to India with his wife and young son, where Bhaktipad's wealthy disciple, Nathaji Das, would provide for their lodging. During a wiretapping telephone conversation with Randall Gorby, Tirtha explained, "This is extremely privileged information. They want me to go to India. That's number one's plan. He has a disciple who's a real wealthy man, and he is going to instruct him first with a telex that I'm arriving, so on and so forth. And then when Bhaktipad, goes over there, supposedly next month, he will take him aside and explain the whole situation to him. I'm going with my wife, Suzanne, and son. We're going to New York today and get all that shit, passport and visa together. You know, in New York, you can do it all in a few days." Tirtha's wife was not keen about moving to India permanently. She explained, "I don't think I'm ready for it. I could go to India to visit, but I know I couldn't live there. It's hard to live there, I've heard." Backlash. Sulochana's murder prompted law enforcement agencies to treat his accusations against Bhaktipad seriously. Perhaps they suspected Bhaktipad was responsible for Sulochan's death. One police officer said Bryant was a martyr for his faith. He was one lone voice in the wilderness, and he was killed because he talked about corruption. He went up against the heavyweights, and he lost. Excuse me. Sulochan's attorney explained Bryant's murder was the beginning of a long downhill slide for Swami Kirtananda, mainly because it happened in California, beyond the reach of his millions. The two investigators assigned to it, Paul the Stump Tippin and Leroy Orozco, were experienced Los Angeles detectives who had worked on several high-profile murders. There would be no cover-up. So, it just goes on and on and on. It says here, even ISKCON's leaders who were aware of the plot to murder Sulochan early in 1986, Radhanath Swami flew to Los Angeles and met with Rameshwar Maharaj, reportedly to discuss cooperation between the two temples to destroy the demon, began to distance themselves from New Vrindavan once the federal government became involved in the investigation. Janmashtami confirmed. Only after the murder had been committed did any of ISKCON's leaders challenge the philosophy that prevailed at New Vrindavan at that time. Los Angeles ISKCON guru Rameshwar Swami once told his Kshatriya security guard disciple Krishna Kant that Sulochan needs a new body, now claim that he and Sulochan were practically buddies. Rameshwar insisted, as far as I know, Sulochan didn't have any bad feelings towards myself, and similarly, I had no bad feeling towards him. He wasn't disturbing us. He came and went very secretly. A number of our core members attended his funeral in Los Angeles. They wanted to show their sympathy and outrage. Mukunda Goswami, Director of Public Affairs for ISKCON, said it was absolutely absurd to think that our society would have anything to do with the man's murder. Okay, I'm going to end it there. Like I was saying, you can there's videos of the author of this book. There's a lot of videos of him talking. There's videos of him reading his own book. There's many podcasts with him on there being interviewed, so you can watch that if you want more information about this. There's also, like I said, movies and documentaries that have been made about this murder. Books written about it, movies made, documentaries made. There's a lot of information. So if you just go to YouTube and you type in Sulochan murder or ISKCON murder or killing for Krishna, anything like that, you'll see all the things that come up, and you can watch and learn and get more information. But that's basically the story of Sulochan. The reason that he killed him is because Sulochan was writing a book about the gurus and how they were all bogus and doing horrible things, and that's why they had him taken out. So anyway, I want to thank everybody for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. Get these videos out so people can know, learn, find out what's happening. And everybody have a great day, great morning, great afternoon, great evening. have some great luck, and please stay out of a cult. And here's the closing credit thing here. Here we go. Thanks, everybody.
Ladies and gentlemen, the story you are about to see is true. The names have been changed to protect the innocent.
I was in the bar for a drink or two. I met a girl named Mary Lou. Her blue jeans were so tight and cut so low. Those jeans were stretched across her butt. On a belt she wore a rabbit's foot, and I couldn't help but see her camel toe. Mary Lou had a camel toe.
Means that และกลับเข้าสู่ My Man All Time BTK1radio.com Whatever, I'll do what I want.
You're listening to Mike's Madhouse on BTK1radio.com.
Worried about God. I'm afraid of what he might do if anything should happen to me.
God, but he's a robot. Without you, what could he do?
There's no limit to what he could do. He could destroy the earth. If anything should happen to me, you must go to God. You must say these words.
Dumalang, video Susie and ready to Mike's Madhouse, more BKK1radio.com.
And now it's time for the Dumb American on Mike's Madhouse.
Back to dope tunes and stupid talk with White Boy Mike on Mike's Madhouse.